The universe was quiet. Stars shone in the black sky. Planets turned in silence. Then a sound broke the quiet. It was a signal, a call for help, an SOS. The signal traveled through space. It moved past dead stars and empty worlds. It went on for years, for centuries. Then human ears heard it. On the big human ship called Observer, Captain Mira looked at her screen. A red light blinked. A sound played. 3 short beeps. 3 long beeps. 3 short beeps. The old SOS code. "We have a signal," said Leo, her tech officer. "It is coming from very far. From the dead zone." The dead zone was a part of space with no life. No planets with air. No suns with heat. Just cold and dark. "Play the signal," said Captain Mira. Leo played it. The SOS was clear. But behind it was another sound. A low hum. A sad noise. Like pain. "Something is wrong," said Dr. Eris, the science chief. "This SOS has no words. No voice saying help. Just a code and this pain sound." Captain Mira thought hard. Rules said they must answer all SOS calls. But this felt different. This felt dangerous. "Where exactly is it coming from?" she asked. Leo checked his maps. "The Zeta 5 system. Planet called Silent Reach. Records say it died 1,000 years ago. No life. A dead planet sending an SOS. That made no sense." "Could be a trap," said the weapons officer Jax. "Pirates use old signals to trick ships." Dr. Eris shook his head. "This is no pirate signal. This is too old. Too powerful. This signal has been traveling for centuries." Captain Mira made a choice. "We must look. Send a probe first. Then we decide." They sent a small probe to Silent Reach. The probe flew for days. It sent back pictures. The planet was gray. No water. No plants. Just rocks and dust. Then the probe saw something. On the biggest flat land there was a mark. A huge mark carved into the planet's surface. The probe camera zoomed in. Captain Mira saw the mark on her screen. Her blood went cold. The mark was a circle with 3 lines through it. A warning symbol. The oldest human warning symbol for extreme danger. "How?" she whispered. "How is a human danger mark on a dead alien planet?" Dr. Eris looked pale. "That symbol is from Earth's early space days. We put on places too dangerous to visit. But humans never came to this planet. Never." The room was silent. The SOS still played in the background. 3 short beeps. 3 long beeps. 3 short beeps. And the pain sound. Then something new happened. The probe camera showed the mark again. But now they saw small writing under it. Alien writing. The probe computer translated it. 5 words appeared on the screen. "Do not answer the call." Captain Mira stood up fast. Pull the probe back now. But it was too late. The ground under the probe moved. The mark began to glow with red light. The probe camera showed the red light spreading. Then the screen went black. "Probe signal lost," said Leo, his voice shaky. Captain Mira turned to Dr. Eris. "What was that?" Dr. Eris was reading new data. "The SOS signal. It changed. It is stronger now. And it is not coming from the planet anymore." "Where is it coming from?" asked Captain Mira. Dr. Eris pointed to the star map. "From everywhere. The signal is now coming from all around us. From empty space itself." Jax checked his weapon system. "We should leave. Now." Captain Mira was about to give the order, but then her own screen lit up. A new message arrived. Not from the probe. Not from the SOS. It was from Earth Command. Highest priority. She opened it. The message was short. "SOS signal confirmed as Galactic Event X-77. Do not engage. Do not respond. Return to base immediately. This is not a request. This is an order." Captain Mira read it twice. Galactic Event X-77. She had heard stories about that. Old stories from the first human space explorers. Stories about a signal that brought death. "Set course for home," she said. Fast speed. The big ship turned. Engines roared to life. They moved away from the dead zone, away from the signal. For 1 hour, everything was normal. Then the alarm sounded. Leo looked at his screen. His face was white. Captain, the signal. It is following us. That is impossible, said Dr. Eris. A signal cannot follow a ship. But the data was clear. The SOS signal was moving with them, keeping the same distance, the same strength. Can we send a message to Earth? Asked Captain Mira. Ask for help. We can try, said Leo. He sent the message. They waited. No reply came. Then the main screen flickered. A new image appeared. Not from their cameras. Not from their systems. It was coming from outside. The image showed space. Black and empty. Then a shape appeared. At first it was small. Then it grew. It was a ship. But not a human ship. It was made of dark metal. Shaped like a broken star. It had no lights. No windows. It just floated in the dark. What is that? Whispered Jax. The ship on the screen moved. It turned slowly. Then a red light appeared on its side. The same red light from the planet Mark. The light flashed 3 times. Short, long short. A new SOS. But this was no call for help. This was different. This was a message. The alien ship moved closer. The red light flashed again. This time in a pattern. A language. Dr. Eris worked fast. His computer translated the flashes. 5 words appeared on the screen. The same 5 words from the planet. Do not answer the call. And then 5 more words appeared under them. You already did. Captain Mira looked at her crew. They all understood now. The SOS was never a call for help. It was a warning to stay away. And they had answered it. They had come looking. They had woken something up. The alien ship moved closer. Its dark shape filled their screen. Then a voice came through their speakers. Not a human voice. Not a machine voice. A voice made of many sounds. Of metal scraping. Of wind howling. Of bones breaking. The voice said one sentence. The swarm remembers who answered. The screen went black. The SOS signal stopped. The pain sound stopped. Everything was silent. Too silent. Captain Mira looked out the window. At first she saw only stars. Then she saw movement. One star blinked out. Then another. Then another. As if something was moving in front of them. Something big. All power to shield, she said. Prepare for dash. She never finished her sentence. Outside the window, the space itself tore open. 1,000 dark ships came out, all shaped like broken stars, all with red lights, all silent. The human ship was alone. One small ship against 1,000 dark shapes. The alien voice came again through the speakers. This time it spoke directly to them. You heard our warning. Now you will become it. The red lights on all the ships flashed at once. 1,000 red eyes in the dark. Captain Mira knew what she had to do. Her hand moved to the communication panel. She pressed the emergency button. The button that would send one last message to Earth. One warning. She spoke 3 words into the microphone. Then the dark ships attacked. 3 words. That was all that reached Earth. Captain Mira's last message. Sent as the dark ships attacked. The signal was weak. Broken by weapons fire and dying systems. But 3 words came through clear. The swarm returns. In Earth Command, the room was silent. Admiral Kale stared at the screen. The message played again. Captain Mira's voice. Fear in her words. Then static. Then nothing. Confirm the source, Admiral Kale said. His voice was hard. Message came from the observer, said a young officer. From the dead zone. Then the ship's signal vanished. Vanished. Not destroyed. Not captured. Vanished. That was worse. Admiral Kale looked at the star map. The observer was gone. But something new appeared on the map. 1,000 small dots. Moving toward human space. Fast. The signal is spreading, said Dr. Lena, the head scientist. She pointed to her screen. The SOS. It changed again. Now it is not a call. It is a broadcast. She played the new signal. The 3 beeps were gone. Now it was one long sound. A deep hum that made the room feel cold. And words and hum. Alien words repeating. The computer translated them. Remember the 1,000 worlds. Play the old records Admiral Kale ordered, "Search for the swarm. Search for 1,000 worlds." The computers searched. Old files opened. Files from the early days of space travel. 200 years old. Videos and pictures from the first human explorers. They found it. A video from the ship Discovery. The first ship to go beyond human space. The date was old. The video quality was poor, but the images were clear. The video showed a planet, green and blue with life. Alien cities shining in the sun. Then the sky turned dark. Shapes blocked the sun. The same shapes as the dark ships. Broken stars. The video shook. The explorer's voice was scared. "They are here. They are taking the planet. They are dash." Then fire from the sky. The cities burned. The video ended. Another file opened. A picture of a dead planet. Gray and cracked. No life. Just dust. And on the surface a mark. The same mark from Silent Reach. The circle with 3 lines. Under the picture were words. World number 47. Lost to the swarm. Dr. Lena scrolled down. More pictures. More dead worlds. Each with the same mark. World number 98. World number 211. World number 455. All dead. All marked. The stories were true, whispered Admiral Kale. The old stories. About a species that eats worlds. That leaves only marks behind. "But why?" asked a young officer. "Why destroy worlds? What do they want?" Dr. Lena opened another file. This one was text only. A report from a long-dead scientist. The words were simple and terrifying. "The swarm does not want resources, does not want land, does not want slaves. The swarm wants silence. It finds species that make noise, that send signals, that explore, and it silences them. Forever." It marked 1,000 worlds not as trophies, but as warnings. Warnings to others. Be quiet, or be silenced. The room was cold. The hum from the signal played on. "Remember the 1,000 worlds." Captain Mira answered their signal, said Admiral Kale. "We made noise. We explored. We broke the silence. So now they come for us," said Dr. Lena, "to add Earth to their marks. World number 1001. The star map beeped. The 1,000 dots were closer. Much closer. They would reach the first human colony in 3 days. "Can we fight them?" asked the weapons chief. Dr. Lena showed data. "The old files say no one fought the swarm and won. Their ships are strong. Their weapons are different. They don't shoot missiles. They don't use lasers." "What do they use?" asked Admiral Kale. Dr. Lena played a broken video from the old files. It showed a swarm ship over a planet. The ship glowed red. The planet below shook. Then the cities crumbled like dust. The people turned to ash. Not from fire, from something else. "It's a sound weapon," said Dr. Lena. "They turn their signal into a weapon. The same SOS. They make it so loud it breaks everything. Breaks stone. Breaks metal. Breaks bones. A weapon made of sound. Made of the call for help. That was their trick. They sent the SOS. If you answered, you brought them to your door. And then they used that same SOS to destroy you." Admiral Kale stood up. "We need a plan. We need a weapon they don't expect." "We have 3 days," said the weapons chief. "We can prepare our ships. Our missiles." "Missiles won't work," said Dr. Lena. "The old files are clear. The swarm ships are not normal. They are linked. Think together. Fight together. If you attack one, you attack all. And their sound weapon, it breaks missiles before they hit." Silence fell again. The problem was too big. The enemy too strong. Then a young officer spoke. His name was Eli. He worked in the old archives. "Admiral, there's one more file. The oldest file. Marked forbidden. I never opened it. The rules say dash." "Open it," said Admiral Kale. Eli opened the file. The screen showed one word in big red letters. Abyss. Under the word was a video. Eli played it. A man appeared on screen. Old and tired. He sat in a dark room. He spoke directly to the camera. "My name is Captain Wren. first commander of the Abyss Project. If you see this video, the swarm has returned, and you have no hope. The man took a deep breath. We tried to fight the swarm 100 years ago. We lost, but before we lost, we learned their secret. They have a mind, a single mind that controls all ships. They call it the heart. Destroy the heart, and all ships fall. Captain Wren leaned closer. We built a weapon to destroy the heart. We called it the Silent Song, a sound that breaks their link. But we never used it. Why not? The video seemed to ask. Because to use it, said Captain Wren, you must get close to the heart. And the heart is on their home world, at the center of their fleet. It is a suicide mission. We chose not to send anyone to die. We hid the weapon, and we hid this message. The video showed plans, a weapon design, not a bomb, not a missile, a sound device, the Silent Song. The weapon is still here, said Captain Wren. Hidden, waiting. The location is in this file. But I warn you, if you use it, you must be ready to sacrifice. The swarm will protect the heart with everything. It is their weakness and their strength. The video ended. The room was quiet. Then Admiral Kale spoke. Find that weapon. Now. Eli searched the file. He found coordinates. A location in deep space. An asteroid field. A hiding place. The Abyss Project was real, said Dr. Lena. The Silent Song is real. We have a chance. But we need a ship, said the weapons chief. A fast ship, a brave crew, to go into swarm space, to reach their home world. And we need time, said Admiral Kale. The swarm will be here in 3 days. We need to slow them down. He looked at the star map. The 1,000 knots move like a dark cloud, toward human space, toward Earth. Prepare every ship we have, said Admiral Kale. We meet them at the border. We fight. We give the Abyss team time. And who will lead the Abyss team? Asked Dr. Lena. Admiral Kale looked around the room. He needed someone smart, someone brave, someone who understood the swarm. His eyes stopped on Dr. Lena. You will lead it. You understand their technology, their sound weapons. Take Eli. He found the file. He knows the old ways. Take my best ship, the Star Runner, and go. Find the Silent Song. Find the heart, and end this. Dr. Lena nodded. She was scared, but she saw no other way. Eli stood up. I will get the coordinates ready. As they prepared, the alarms sounded again. The star map showed new movement. The 1,000 dots had split. One group still came toward human space, but a smaller group, 10 ships, turned and moved toward the asteroid field, toward the hidden weapon. They know, said Dr. Lena. They know about the Silent Song. They are going to destroy it. Admiral Kale's face was stone. Then you have no time. Go now. May luck be with you. Dr. Lena and Eli ran from the room. The Star Runner was waiting. A fast ship, a small crew. Their mission was simple. Get to the weapon before the swarm, or all was lost. As their ship left Earth, the swarm signal played on every speaker. The deep hum, the words, remember the 1,000 worlds. But now new words joined them, as if the swarm was talking directly to Earth. We remember you too. And in the sound of the hum was something new, a familiar voice, broken and sad. Captain Myra's voice. Help US. Then static. The Star Runner flew fast. Its engines burned blue in the dark. Inside the ship, Dr. Lena watched the star map. 10 red dots followed them. 10 swarm ships. Hunting them. They are fastened, we thought, said Eli from the pilot seat. His hands were tight on the controls. We have the coordinates, said Dr. Lena. The asteroid field. 3 hours away. Can we beat them? Eli checked the numbers. Maybe, but they will be close behind. The asteroid field was a dangerous place. Thousands of rocks floated in space, some as big as cities, some as small as houses. The perfect hiding place for a secret weapon. The Star Runner entered the field. Eli flew careful, dodging rocks, searching for the right one. The file says look for asteroid number 77, said Dr. Lena. It has a mark, a small mark. They looked, rock after rock, all gray, all dead. Then Eli saw it, Asteroid 77, bigger than the others, and on its side a small sign, the circle with 3 lines, the same mark from the dead worlds. But this mark was different. It was carved by human hands. "That's it," said Dr. Lena. "Land there." The ship landed on the asteroid. The gravity was weak. They put on spacesuits. They went outside. The mark was big up close, 10 meters wide. In its center was a door, a metal door hidden in the rock. Eli found a control panel, old and dusty. He cleaned it. The panel lit up. It asked for a code. "The file," said Dr. Lena. "The code is in the file." Eli opened his tablet. He typed the code. The door opened with a deep sound. Old air came out, cold and stale. Inside was dark. Their suit lights turned on. They saw a long tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, a room. In the room was the weapon, the silent song. It was not big, not like a bomb. It looked like a music box, a metal box with wires and speakers. Simple, quiet. Next to the weapon was a body, in an old spacesuit, sitting in a chair. A name on the suit, Captain Wren. Dr. Lena approached careful. She saw a note in the dead captain's hand. She took it. "Read it. To those who come after me. The silent song is ready. But know this, the weapon does not kill the swarm. It breaks their link to the heart. But the heart will feel this break. It will feel pain, and it will send all swarm ships to protect itself. To use this weapon, you must be ready. Ready to face the full anger of the swarm. The choice is yours." Dr. Lena looked at Eli. "We take it. We have no choice." They picked up the weapon. It was heavy. They carried it back to the ship. As they left the asteroid, the alarm sounded. The 10 swarm ships had arrived. They surrounded the asteroid. Their red lights glowed in the dark. "They found us," said Eli. He ran to the pilot's seat. The swarm ships did not attack. They just watched, blocking all ways out. Then a voice came, the same metal voice from before, but now it spoke clearer. "Humans, you found the forbidden tool. Put it down, and we let you live." Dr. Lena stood still. "They are afraid of it. The weapon works." "What is your choice?" said the voice. "Live, or die with your toy." Eli looked at Dr. Lena. "What do we do?" Dr. Lena thought, if they gave up the weapon, Earth was lost. If they kept it, they might die now. Then she saw something on the star map. The main swarm fleet, the 1,000 ships. They had reached the first human colony. Colony 1, a station with 10,000 people. A live video feed from Colony 1 appeared on their screen. The swarm ships surrounded the station. Their red lights glowed. The metal voice spoke again. "Watch and learn." The swarm ships hummed. A low sound, then a high sound, the SOS signal. But loud, very loud. The sound hit Colony 1. The station shook. The metal walls bent. The windows broke. People screamed. Then the station turned to dust. Silent dust. 10,000 lives. Gone in seconds. The video went black. The metal voice returned. "Your choice. The weapon, or another colony." Dr. Lena felt sick, but she made her choice. "Eli, get us out of here. Now." Eli pushed the engines to full power. The Star Runner flew straight at the swarm ships. They fired their sound weapons. The ship shook. Alarm screamed. But the silent song was on board, and it did something. It made a quiet hum, a counter sound. The swarm sound weapons lost power near it. The Star Runner broke through the circle. One swarm ship tried to follow. Eli flew close to a big asteroid. The swarm ship hit the rock. It exploded. 9 ships left, and they were angry. "The heart knows your plan," said the metal voice. "IT fears you, so it will destroy you." The 9 ships chased them, but the Star Runner was fast, and the asteroid field helped. Rocks blocked the sound weapons. They escaped the field. They were in open space now. The swarm ships still followed. "Set course for swarm space," said Dr. Lena. "For their home world. For the heart." Eli typed the coordinates. The old files had the location, the center of the swarm, a planet called the Hive. The journey would take 2 days. 2 days with 9 hunters behind them. As they flew, Dr. Lena studied the weapon. She learned how it worked. It sent a special sound, a sound that broke the link between the heart and the ships. But it had a short range. They had to be close, very close. Once we use it, said Eli, all swarm ships will come to protect the heart. We will be trapped. I know, said Dr. Lena. That is why this is a one-way trip. They flew in silence, watching the stars, thinking about Earth, about Colony 1. After 1 day, the star map beeped. A message from Earth, from Admiral Kale. His face was tired. His uniform was dirty. He had been fighting. Dr. Lena, the swarm fleet is here, at Earth's doorstep. We are fighting, but we are losing. Our weapons do little. Their sound breaks our ships. We have 1 day left. Maybe less. Do you have the weapon? Yes, Admiral, said Dr. Lena. Can you use it soon? We need 1 more day to reach the Hive. Admiral Kale closed his eyes. When he opened them, there were tears. We don't have 1 day. The Earth fleet will be gone in hours. Then Earth is next. Dr. Lena felt her heart break. What do we do? Admiral Kale made a hard face. There is another way. The old file spoke of it. The silent song has a remote setting. You can send the sound from far away. But it is weak. It might not break the link fully. It might only hurt the heart. What happens if we hurt the heart? Asked Eli. If the heart feels pain, said Admiral Kale, it might call its ships back to protect itself. The swarm fleet might leave Earth, return to the Hive. Dr. Lena understood. And then Earth is safe. For now. But we lose our chance to destroy the heart. The swarm will heal and come back stronger. Yes, said Admiral Kale. That is a choice. Use the weapon now. Save Earth today. Or continue your mission. Reach the Hive. Destroy the heart forever. But Earth might fall before you get there. The devil's choice. Save one. Or save all. With a risk. Eli looked at Dr. Lena. What do we choose? Dr. Lena looked at the weapon. At the star map. At the 9 red dots behind them. At Earth on the screen. Billions of lives. She thought of Captain Mira. Of Colony 1. Of the 1,000 dead worlds. The metal voice returned. It had heard their talk. It laughed. A sound of breaking glass. Choose human. Save your home. Or save your future. But know this. The heart is ready for pain. It will not call the fleet back. It will let Earth die. To keep its secret safe. Your choice is a trick. You think you have power. But you have none. The voice was lying. Dr. Lena knew it. But what if it was true? What if the heart did not care about pain? Admiral Kale waited. The people of Earth waited. Dr. Lena made her choice. Dr. Lena made her choice. She would not use the weapon from far away. She would not take the risk. She looked at Admiral Kale on the screen. We go to the Hive, she said. We destroy the heart. For good. Admiral Kale nodded. He understood. Then we will hold Earth as long as we can. Good luck, Doctor. The screen went dark. The Star Runner flew on, toward swarm space, toward the center of the darkness. But the 9 swarm ships behind them changed their plan. They stopped chasing. They turned around, and they flew away. Why are they leaving? Asked Eli. They were so close. Dr. Lena checked the star map. The 9 ships were not going back to Earth. They were going somewhere else. A new location. A place not in the old files. Where are they going? She wondered. Then the answer came. A signal. Weak but clear. From a human ship. A ship thought to be dead. It was the Observer. Captain Myra's ship. The signal was broken. Full of static. But Captain Myra's voice came through. Alive, trapped, they took us to a forge world. They are building something big. Dr. Lena turned up the volume. Captain Mira? Where are you? A new voice answered. Not Captain Mira. A different voice. Young and scared. A crew member from the Observer. This is Ensign Coda. Captain Mira is not able to talk. The swarm did not kill us. They captured us. They brought us to a planet, a factory planet. They are forcing us to work, to build a weapon. A weapon? Asked Dr. Lena. What weapon? The swarm. They learned from us, said Ensign Coda. They saw our ships, our technology, and they are building their own version. But worse, a sound weapon so big it can break a planet. They call it the World Killer. Dr. Lena felt cold. The swarm was already strong. With a weapon like that, they would be unstoppable. Why are you telling us this? Asked Eli. Because the 9 ships are coming here, said Ensign Coda, to protect the Forge world. And because we found something. In the factory. Plans. Old plans. Not swarm plans. Human plans. He sent a file. Dr. Lena opened it. The file showed a weapon design. But not like the Silent Song. This was different. Bigger. More powerful. It had a name at the top. Project Final Warning. This was the original plan, said Ensign Coda. The Abyss Project was just part 1. The Silent Song was a test. This is a real weapon. The humans 100 years ago designed it, but never built it. The swarm found the plans. And now they are building it. For themselves. Dr. Lena looked at the design. The weapon used the same sound technology as the Silent Song, but on a huge scale. It could send a sound wave across a whole solar system, breaking everything linked to the heart. It could destroy the swarm forever. But the swarm was building it first. We have to stop them, said Dr. Lena. You can't, said Ensign Coda. The Forge world is too protected, and the weapon is almost done. They will test it soon, on a dead world. Then they will use it on Earth. He sent coordinates. The location of the Forge world. It was on the way to the hive. A small detour. Eli looked at Dr. Lena. What do we do? Our mission is the heart. Our mission is to stop the swarm, said Dr. Lena. If they get this weapon, our mission fails. Even if we destroy the heart. So we go to the Forge world, asked Eli. Yes, said Dr. Lena. But not to attack. To steal. Steal what? The big weapon is too large. Not the weapon, said Dr. Lena. The plans. The original human plans. They have parts we need. To make our own weapon. A better one. She looked at the Silent Song. It was small, but with the plans from Project Final Warning, she could make it stronger. Strong enough to reach the heart from farther away. Strong enough to win. It's a risk, said Eli. Everything is a risk, said Dr. Lena. Set course for the Forge world. They changed direction. The Forge world was a gray planet covered in factories. Smoke filled the air. Swarm ships flew around it like flies. The Star Runner hid behind a moon. They watched. They saw the big weapon. Half-built, a giant metal dish pointed at the sky. Around it human prisoners worked. Guards watched them. Swarm guards with sound weapons. We need to get to the main factory, said Dr. Lena. The plans will be there. How? Asked Eli. We can't just fly in. Dr. Lena had an idea. The Silent Song. We can use it to make a small sound disturbance. Like a distraction. It will confuse the swarm guards for a few minutes. We go in, get the plans. Get out. It was a dangerous plan, but they had no other choice. They waited for night on the Forge world, or what passed for night. The factories dimmed their lights. Eli turned on the Silent Song. He set it to make a low hum, a hum that would bother the swarm but not hurt them. The hum spread. On the planet below, the swarm guards stopped. They looked confused. Their sound weapons made odd noises. Now, said Dr. Lena. They flew down, fast and low. They landed near the main factory. They put on dark clothes. They ran. The factory was huge. Machines roared. Human prisoners worked with tired eyes. Dr. Lena and Eli moved in the shadows. They found a control room. Inside, a swarm guard stood still. Confused by the hum, Eli knocked him out with a tool. Dr. Lena searched the computers. She found the files. Project Final Warning. The complete plans. She downloaded them. Then she saw something else. A live feed from Earth. The swarm fleet was attacking. Human ships fought bravely, but they were losing. One by one they fell. Admiral Kale's ship was surrounded. He was trying to protect the last escaped ships leaving Earth. "We have to hurry," said Eli. Dr. Lena kept looking. She found one more file, a map of the hive. The heart was not on the planet's surface. It was underground, deep underground, protected by layers of rock and metal. The silent song could not reach it from space. They would have to go inside, land on the hive, and carry the weapon into the tunnels. It was a death sentence. But they had the plans now. Maybe they could make the weapon stronger. A noise outside. The hum was fading. The swarm guards were recovering. "Time to go," said Eli. They ran back to their ship. Swarm guards saw them. Sound weapons fired. The ground shook. But they reached the ship. Eli started the engines. They flew up, fast. Swarm ships followed them. But they were small and quick. They escaped into space. Safe for now. Dr. Lena looked at the plans. She studied them. She saw how to modify the silent song, how to make it more powerful. But she needed a special part, a crystal that focused sound. The plans called it a resonance crystal. The crystal was rare, very rare. The old humans found only one, and the swarm used it in their big weapon. "We need that crystal," said Dr. Lena. "Without it, our weapon is weak." Eli checked the star map. "The swarm will be moving the crystal to the big weapon soon. To finish it, we have to get it first." "But where's it now?" asked Dr. Lena. Then a message came from Ensign Coda again. "The crystal, they are moving it tonight to the main factory. They are putting it in the big weapon. If you want it, you have one chance. But you must be careful. The crystal is fragile. If it breaks, it is useless." Dr. Lena made a decision. "We go back. We get the crystal." Eli stared at her. "Back? They will be waiting for us." "Maybe not," said Dr. Lena. "They think we ran away. They think we're going to hive. They won't expect us to return." It was crazy, but it might work. They turned the ship around. They flew back to the Forge world. The swarm ships were busy preparing the big weapon. They did not see the small human ship return. They landed in a dark area, far from the factories. "Wait here," said Dr. Lena. "I will go alone. If I don't come back, you take the silent song and go to the hive. Try anyway." Eli wanted to argue, but he nodded. Dr. Lena went into the dark. She moved toward the main factory. She saw the crystal on a transport vehicle, surrounded by swarm guards. She had one tool, a small sound device from the silent song. She set it to make a high-pitched noise, a noise that hurt swarm ears. She turned it on. The guards cried out. They dropped their weapons. Dr. Lena ran. She grabbed the crystal. It was heavy, glowing with soft light. She ran back to the ship. Swarm alarm sounded. Lights turned on. They saw her. Eli started the engines. The ship lifted off. Dr. Lena jumped inside just as the door closed. Swarm sound weapons hit the ground below. The ship shook but flew up. They escaped again. With the crystal, Dr. Lena connected the crystal to the silent song. The weapon glowed brighter. It hummed with new power. "It's ready," she said. "Now we can reach the heart from the surface. We don't have to go deep underground." Eli smiled for the first time in days. "Then we have a chance." They set course to the hive, the final journey. But as they flew, a new message came. Not from Earth, not from Ensign Coda. From the heart itself, a deep voice filled their ship, a voice of ancient hate. "Little thieves, you take what is mine. You build what you do not understand. Come to me, come to the hive, and see what true power is." The star map changed. The way to the hive was now open. No swarm ships blocked the path. They were invited. It was a trap. Of course it was a trap. But they had to go. Dr. Lena looked at the weapon, at the crystal. They had their chance. A slim chance. The Forge world grew small behind them. Ahead was only darkness. And in that darkness something waited. The space near the hive was not empty. It was full of ships. Thousands of swarm ships. All silent. All still. They formed a perfect circle around the planet, waiting. The hive was not like other planets. It had no color, no blue water, no green land. It was black, a black sphere floating in space. Its surface moved, like breathing. As the Star Runner approached, the circle of ships opened. A path formed, leading straight to the planet. An invitation to enter. "They want us to go in," said Eli. His voice was quiet. Dr. Lena looked at the weapon. The silent song glowed with the crystal's light. It was ready. But were they? "Take us down," she said. Eli flew the ship through the path. The swarm ships watched them pass. Red lights glowed like angry eyes. But they did not attack. The Star Runner entered the atmosphere of the hive. The sky was dark gray. Thick clouds covered the sun. Below the ground was not ground. It was a hard shell, like bone. They saw structures, tall towers made of black metal. They pulsed with red light, like veins. "There," said Dr. Lena. She pointed to the center of the planet, a huge opening in the shell, a tunnel leading deep underground. "That is where the heart is." The map showed it. Eli landed the ship near the tunnel entrance. The air outside was cold and smelled like metal. They put on their suits. They took the silent song. "We carried together," said Dr. Lena. They lifted the weapon. It was heavy with the crystal. They walked toward the tunnel. The entrance was large, big enough for a ship to fly through. The walls were smooth and dark. Red light glowed from deep inside. They walked for a long time, down and down. The tunnel sloped deep into the planet. The air grew warmer. The red light grew brighter. Then they heard it, a sound, deep and slow, like a heartbeat, but not like a human heartbeat. This was slower, heavier, and with each beat the walls shook slightly. Thump, thump, thump. "The heart," whispered Eli. They walked faster. The tunnel opened into a huge cavern, so big they could not see the ceiling. And in the center of the cavern was the heart. It was not a machine. It was alive, a giant beating organ floating in the air, red and wet. Veins stretched from it to the walls, pumping red light through the planet. Around the heart were pods, hundreds of pods, and inside the pods were people, human people, from the Observer, Captain Mira and her crew. They were alive but asleep. Tubes connected them to the heart. "They are feeding it," said Dr. Lena, "feeding it with human thoughts, human memories. That is how the heart learns, how it grows." They saw other pods, too, with other species, aliens from the 1,000 dead worlds, all sleeping, all feeding the heart. A voice spoke, not from speakers, from the walls themselves. The heart's voice. "You came. Good. Now you will join them. You will give me your minds, your fear, your hope. I hunger for human hope. It is sweet." Dr. Lena put down the silent song. "We did not come to join you. We came to stop you." The heart beat louder. "Thump, thump. You have a pretty toy, but it will not work here. This place is protected by sound. My sound. Your little song will be drowned." Dr. Lena turned on the silent song. It hummed to life. The crystal glowed bright. She aimed it at the heart. The weapon sent out its sound wave, a beautiful clear note. It hit the heart. Nothing happened. The heart beat on. The note was lost in the cavern's noise. "See," said the heart. "I told you. Now come. Join the others." Tentacles made of red light reached from the heart. They moved toward Dr. Lena and Eli. Eli fired his gun. The bullets passed through the light. Useless. Dr. Lena thought fast. The plans from Project Final Warning said the weapon needed to match the heart's frequency, to find the exact sound that would break the link. But how to find it? Then she saw Captain Mira in her pod. Her eyes opened. She was weak but awake. She looked at Dr. Lena. She pointed to her own head, then to the heart. "She wants us to connect," said Eli. "To link our minds to the heart? That's crazy." "No," said Dr. Lena. "She wants us to listen, to hear the heart's true frequency. Through her, it was a risk. If they connected even for a second, the heart could trap their minds forever. But they had no other choice. Dr. Lena found a console near the pods. Wires connected the pods to the heart. She carefully disconnected one wire from Captain Myra's pod. She held the end. Eli, if this goes wrong, you run. Take the weapon. Try again another way. Eli nodded. He looked scared but brave. Dr. Lena touched the wire to her suit's communication port. For a second, nothing happened. Then pain. Terrible pain. Images flooded her mind. The memories of 1,000 worlds dying. The screams of billions. The hunger of the swarm. The cold, empty purpose. To silence all noise. All life. And deep in the noise, she heard it. The heart's true sound. A specific frequency. A note of pure hate. She pulled the wire away. She fell to her knees. Her head hurt, but she had the frequency. Eli, adjust the weapon to frequency 7.3. Hurry! Eli worked fast. He changed the settings on the silent song. The weapon's hum changed. It became darker, deeper. Dr. Lena aimed it again. Now! She fired. The sound wave hit the heart. This time it did not disappear. It stuck. It vibrated. The heart's beat faltered. Thump, thump. Thump, thump. What is this? The heart's voice was angry. This sound, it hurts. The veins connecting the heart to the walls began to glow too bright. Then they cracked. Red light leaked out. The pods opened. Captain Mira and the others fell out. They were weak but free. The heart beat wildly now. Erratic. Painful. You broke the link. But you did not destroy me. And now I am angry. The ground shook. The walls cracked. From the cracks, swarm soldiers climbed out. Not ships. Living soldiers. Made of black metal and red light. They moved fast. Eli, get them to the ship, yelled Dr. Lena. She kept the weapon aimed at the heart. Eli helped Captain Mira and the others up. They ran toward the tunnel. The swarm soldiers came closer. Dr. Lena backed away, still firing the weapon. The heart was hurting but not dead. She needed to hit it harder. But how? Then she saw the crystal in the weapon. It was glowing too bright. Overheating. The plans warned about this. Too much power, and the crystal would shatter. And when it shattered, it would release all its energy at once. A final blast. Enough to destroy the heart? Maybe, but it would also destroy her. Captain Mira stopped at the tunnel entrance. She looked back. She saw Dr. Lena's face. She understood. Don't! Captain Mira shouted. Dr. Lena made her choice. She turned the weapon to maximum power. She aimed it at the center of the heart. Tell Earth we won, she said. She pressed a button. The crystal glowed white hot. Then it cracked. A sound like breaking glass filled the cavern. Then light, white light everywhere. The sound wave hit the heart. This time it did not just hurt. It tore. The heart screamed. A sound of pure agony. It beat one last time. Then it burst. Red liquid and light sprayed the cavern. The swarm soldiers stopped moving. They fell, dead. The walls shook harder. The ceiling began to fall. Rocks crashed down. Dr. Lena fell to her knees. The weapon was dead. The crystal was dust. Her suit was damaged. She could not run. She looked at the tunnel. Eli and Captain Mira and the others were safe. They would make it to the ship. That was enough. The ceiling fell on her. Darkness. Earth. Admiral Kale stood on the command bridge. The battle was over, but the sky was wrong. 1 hour ago, every swarm ship had stopped. In the middle of the fight, they just froze. Their red lights went dark. They floated dead in space. Human ships checked them. No life, no power, just empty metal. The heart was dead. The link was broken. Dr. Lena and Eli had done it, but there was no celebration, no cheering, because Dr. Lena and Eli did not return. The Star Runner signal was gone, lost near the hive, and Captain Myra's ship, the Observer, was badly damaged, but it was coming home, with survivors. Admiral Kale waited for their arrival. His face was tired, his uniform torn. Earth was safe, but the cost was high. The Observer landed. The door opened. Captain Mira walked out. She was thin. Her eyes had seen too much, but she stood straight. Behind her came her crew, and Eli, alone. Admiral Kale met them. He looked at Eli. Dr. Lena? Eli shook his head. His eyes were red. She stayed, to make sure the weapon worked. She did not make it out. Silence fell on the landing bay. Dr. Lena was a hero, but heroes do not come home. Captain Mira spoke. She destroyed the heart. The swarm is gone, truly gone. Admiral Kale nodded. We saw. The fleet just died. You saved us all. But Captain Mira did not smile. Admiral, there is something else. Something we saw at the hive, before it collapsed. She played a recording from her suit, the last moments in the cavern, the heart screaming. Then, as it died, it did something strange. It sent out one last signal. Not a sound. A light. A pulse of data. The recording showed the pulse. It shot up through the ceiling, into space, moving faster than light. It sent a message, said Captain Mira. The heart's last act. A final warning. But not for us. Then for who? Asked Admiral Kale. Before she could answer, alarm sounded. Loud and urgent. A young officer ran in. Admiral, deep space sensors. Picking up something. Multiple somethings. Coming from beyond the hive. From the dark space. The main screen lit up. The star map showed the dead swarm ships. And beyond them new dots. Hundreds of them. Thousands. More than the swarm fleet. They were not swarm ships. Their shapes were different. Sharper. Angrier. And they were coming fast. What are they? Whispered Eli. Captain Mira looked at the recording. At the dying heart's pulse. The heart did not send a cry for help. It sent a beacon. A dinner bell. The new ships arrived at the edge of the star map. They stopped. They did not attack. They just waited. A signal came through. Clean. Clear. In perfect human language. Greetings. We are the cleaners. We heard the noise. The great noise of your war. We have come to silence it. Admiral Kale stepped forward. Who are you? What do you want? The voice was calm. Cold. The swarm was a pest. A loud pest. But you are louder. You destroyed the pest with sound. You made the biggest noise of all. And noise is forbidden. Captain Mira understood first. The swarm was not the top predator. They were just the hunters. These new ones are the cleaners. They erase anyone who makes too much noise, who fights too hard, who wins too big. The voice continued. You have two choices. Silence yourselves. Destroy your ships, your weapons, your technology. Live quietly. Or we will silence you, like we silenced the others before the swarm. On the screen images appeared. Dead civilizations. Not just 1,000 worlds. Millions. All silent. All still. The swarm was just one tool, said Eli, to keep the universe quiet. And we broke that tool. So now the makers come. Admiral Kale looked at his people. At Earth. At the human spirit that always fought. That made noise. He made his choice. He opened a channel to the cleaners. We are humanity. We will not be silent. We will not hide. If you want peace, we offer it. But if you want silence, you'll have to take it. The voice did not get angry. It simply said, so be it. Prepare for cleaning. The cleaner ships moved. They did not attack Earth. They went to the dead swarm ships. And they began to break them, to recycle them, to turn them into new ships. Right before human eyes, they were building a bigger fleet. From the remains of the old one, humanity had days, maybe hours. But then Captain Mira had an idea, a dangerous idea. The heart's last signal, she said. It was not just a beacon. It was data, the heart's knowledge. All it learned from 1,000 worlds, from the humans it captured, including Project Final Warning. Eli's eyes widened. The weapon plans. The heart had them. It sent them out. To who? Asked Admiral Kale. To anyone listening, said Captain Mira. A final act of revenge. The heart hated the cleaners more than us. They controlled it, used it, so as it died it gave us the one thing that could hurt them. She showed the data. The heart signal contained the complete project final warning plans, but upgraded, improved with swarm technology and human ingenuity. A weapon not of sound, but of silence. A weapon that could create perfect silence. A field where no sound, no signal, no noise could exist. The one thing the cleaners could not stand. It will turn their own weapon against them, said Captain Mira. They want silence? We will give them silence. So much silence it will deafen them forever. But we need the crystal, said Eli. The resonance crystal. It shattered. Captain Mira smiled for the first time. The heart had a crystal too, a bigger one, to power itself. It shattered when the heart died. But the pieces, they are still at the hive. We can collect them. Rebuild. Admiral Kale looked at the cleaner fleet growing on the screen. We have little time. Then we move fast, said Captain Mira. A new mission began, not with one ship, but with all ships. Every human vessel that could fly went to the hive. They collected the crystal pieces. They worked together. Humans from Earth, from the colonies, even former prisoners from the swarm forges. They built the new weapon. Not a small box like the Silent Song. A huge satellite. They called it the Quiet Star. In 2 days it was ready. The cleaner fleet was ready too. They moved toward Earth. The Quiet Star was placed between Earth and the cleaners. Captain Mira stood at the control, Eli by her side. Admiral Kale's voice came through. Good luck, Captain. Dr. Lena would be proud. Captain Mira thought of Dr. Lena, of her sacrifice. This is for you, she whispered. She activated the Quiet Star. Nothing happened. No sound. No light. No explosion. But the cleaner ship stopped. Their signals died. Their lights went out. They floated confused in the silent dark. The voice of the cleaners returned. But it was broken. Scared. What is this? This silence. It hurts. I think it burns. For beings made of noise and signal-perfect silence was poison. It was death. One by one, the cleaner ships powered down. They became dead metal, just like the swarm before them. The universe was quiet again, but this time by human choice. The Quiet Star was turned off. The noise of life returned. The hum of ships. The voices of people. The sound of a civilization that refused to be silent. Days later, a ceremony was held for Dr. Lena. For all who fell, a memorial was built on Earth. Not a statue. A garden with a fountain that made soft sounds. A place of peaceful noise. Admiral Kale stood before the people. They thought noise was weakness. They thought silence was strength. But they were wrong. Our noise is our voice. Our sound is our soul. We will explore. We will fight. We will live. And we will do it loudly. The people cheered. The sound filled the sky. And in the garden by the fountain, a small plaque read, for Dr. Lena, who taught the universe, that some silences are broken by heroes. In deep space near the dead hive, a small piece of crystal glowed, a last echo of the heart, and in its glow a tiny signal repeated, a message for whoever might find it one day. The message was simple, 3 words. The universe was quiet, too quiet. Earth celebrated. Humans rebuilt. The memory of the swarm and the cleaners began to fade into stories. But Admiral Kale could not rest. He sat in his office, staring at the stars. Something was wrong. Not with Earth. Earth was safe, prosperous. New ships were built. New colonies started. The Quiet Star technology was studied but never used again. It was too dangerous. A weapon of absolute silence. No, the wrongness was in the data. Deep space sensor reports. Small anomalies. Unexplained energy readings from the dark spaces between galaxies. Places where nothing should be. Captain Mira visited him. She now commanded Earth's first scout fleet. She saw the worry on his face. You feel it too, she said. It was not a question. Admiral Kale nodded. The silence after a storm. It feels waiting. He showed her the reports. Energy spikes with no source. Ghost signals that disappeared when scanned. And one consistent pattern. They were all along the path the cleaners had taken. as if something was following their trail. Like echoes, Captain Mira said. Sound echoes in space. Exactly, said Admiral Kale. But space has no air for sound. So what is echoing? Eli entered the room. He was now head of the science division. He carried a data pad. His face was pale. We found something, he said, in the wreckage of a cleaner ship. One we pulled from the edge of the system. It had a black box. A recorder. He played the recording. It was from the last moments of the cleaner command ship, as the quiet star activated. The audio was mostly static. Then a voice. The cleaner commander. But not speaking to humans. Speaking to someone else. Something else. The noisemakers have a new tool. It creates the old silence. The deep silence. They do not know what they wake. They do not know what sleeps in the quiet. Then screams. Not human screams. Something worse. And one last sentence. The listeners will hear. And they will come. The recording ended. Who are the listeners? Asked Captain Mira. Eli pulled up star charts. Ancient charts. Older than human civilization. Found in ruins on dead worlds. Every civilization we've ever found has one story in common. A story of something that sleeps in the silence between stars. That feeds on noise. That woke once and had to be put back to sleep by something else. The cleaners? Asked Admiral Kale. No, said Eli. The cleaners were the guards, making sure nothing got too loud. Too interesting. The listeners are different. They don't want silence. They want the echo. He explained. The listeners were creatures of pure energy. They lived in the spaces between realities. They fed on psychic energy, on emotions, on the echoes left behind by great events, wars, deaths, victories. The swarm's destruction, said Captain Mira. The death of the heart, the defeat of cleaners. Those were massive psychic events. Billions of beings feeling fear, hope, despair, victory. Exactly, said Eli. We didn't just make noise. We made a symphony of emotion, and the listeners heard it. They've been feeding on the echoes, and now they're coming closer, to the source. On the main screen, the deep space sensors lit up, not with ships, with something else. Ripples in space itself, like stones dropped in water, coming toward human space. We need to warn the colonies, said Admiral Kale. But it was too late. A distress call came from Colony 7, a mining colony on the edge of explored space. The video showed the colony normal one moment. Then the sky rippled, like heat waves, and people changed. They stopped working, stopped talking. They just stood and listened to nothing. Then they began to whisper, all the same words and languages no human knew. The colony leader came on screen. Her eyes were empty. Can't you hear it? The beautiful song. It's in the silence. It's in the gaps between thoughts. It's calling us. We have to go. We have to listen. The transmission ended. Colony 7 went silent. Not dead. Just silent. No signals. No energy readings. Just quiet. What do we do? Asked Eli. We can't fight ripples in space. Captain Mira had an idea. A dangerous one. The quiet star. It creates perfect silence. If the listeners feed on psychic echoes, maybe silence starve them. But it also hurts humans, said Admiral Kale. Colony 7 proved that. The silence drives people mad. Not if we control it, said Captain Mira. Not if we use it as a shield. Not a weapon. We create a bubble of silence around Earth, around our colonies, a place with no psychic echoes for them to feed on. It might work, said Eli, but we need to modify the quiet star, to make the silence selective, to block only psychic noise, not all sound. How long? Asked Admiral Kale. Eli checked his calculations. 3 days, maybe 4. The ripples were getting closer. Colony 8 reported strange dreams. Colony 9 reported people hearing whispers in empty rooms. They had 2 days at most. Work began. Every scientist, every engineer. They worked without sleep, modifying the quiet star, making it into a new device, the Echo Shield. but something watched them work. In the lab where the echo shield was being built, a technician named Rin worked late. She was checking circuits when she heard it. A whisper, not in her ears, in her mind. So much noise, so much fear, delicious. She turned. No one there. You build a wall, but walls have two sides. You will be inside, we will be outside, and we will listen to your silence until it breaks. Run ran to report it. But as she spoke, she realized the whisper was still there. In her thoughts, not her own. The listeners were already here. Not in ships, in minds. Soon more reports came. People hearing thoughts that weren't theirs. Feeling emotions that didn't belong to them. The listeners were tasting human minds. Sampling their fear. Captain Mira felt it too. In her dreams, she heard a song. A beautiful, terrible song made of all the sound of the universe. A song that promised peace. If she just stopped fighting, stopped thinking, just listened. She woke up screaming. We're running out of time, she told Admiral Kale. They're not attacking. They're inviting. And the invitation is hard to refuse. The echo shield was ready. But there was a problem. To activate it, they needed a psychic anchor. A mind strong enough to control the shield. To focus it. A mind that could resist the listener's song. It has to be me, said Captain Mira. I've been in the heart's mind. I felt the swarm's hunger. I know what invasion feels like. But if you fail, said Eli, your mind will be lost. Trapped in the silence forever. I know, she said. The ripples reached the edge of the solar system. Space itself bent. Stars twisted in the sky. And the song grew louder. Not in the air. In the soul. People on Earth began to stop. To listen. To smile empty smiles. They were happy. But they were not themselves. The echo shield was launched into orbit. Captain Mira went to control room. A special chair waited. Wires connected to her temples. She would be the anchor. The lighthouse in the silent sea. Ready? Asked Admiral Kale. She nodded. Activated. The echo shield powered on. A wave of selective silence spread from it. A bubble around Earth. The psychic noise stopped. The song faded. Outside the bubble, the listeners screamed. A soundless scream of hunger and anger. They pressed against the shield. They could not enter. Earth was safe. But Captain Mira was not. She sat in the chair, her eyes open but seeing nothing. Her mind was the shield, and the shield was under attack. The listeners hammered against it. With every hit she felt it, like a bell being struck. And with every strike, she lost a little of herself. A memory, a feeling, her name, her purpose. She held on. Days passed. The listeners did not leave. They circled the shield, waiting, patient. They had eternity. She did not. In the silence of her mind, she began to hear something new, not the listener's song, something older, the echo of the heart's last thought, the data pulse it sent, the message. She had thought it was a beacon for the cleaners, but it was not. It was a warning, a message to anyone who could hear. And now in the silence, she could hear it clearly. The message was not words. It was a feeling, a memory from the heart, a memory of a time before the swarm, when the heart was young, and it heard a song, a beautiful song, and it followed it, and it found the listeners, and they changed it, made it into a tool, a noisemaker to create feasts for them. The swarm was not evil. It was a victim, a tool, and the heart's last act was not revenge. It was redemption. It gave humanity the tools to fight, because humanity was loud and brave and could do what the heart could not. Say no. Captain Mira understood. The listeners did not want to destroy humanity. They wanted to use them, like they used the swarm, to make them into a new tool, a better tool, to create even greater noises, greater feasts. She had to warn the others, but she was a shield. If she moved, the shield would fall. Then she had an idea, a crazy idea. The echo shield blocked psychic noise. But what if she modified it? Not to block, to reflect, to send the listener's own song back at them. She reached out with her mind, not to the shield, to the machine. She asked it to change, to learn, to adapt. And it did. The echo shield shimmered. The bubble changed. From clear to mirror, it reflected the psychic energy back outward. The listeners screamed as their own song hit them. They were not used to being heard, to being listened to. They retreated. The ripples in space smoothed. The pressure on the shield lessened. Captain Mira pushed harder. She sent not just their song back. She sent human memories, human feelings, not fear, not anger, hope, love, laughter, the noise of life, the messy, beautiful noise of being alive. The listeners could not digest it. It was too bright, too warm, too alive. They fled, back into the spaces between, back to their sleep. The shield held. Captain Mira opened her eyes. She was tired, but she was whole. She unplugged the wires, stood up. The room cheered, but she did not cheer. She went to the window, looked at the stars, at the dark spaces between. "They'll be back," she said. "One day, when we make enough noise again." Admiral Kale stood beside her. "Then we'll be ready, and we'll be louder." Eli joined them. "We found something in the data from the shield. When you reflected their song, we heard something. In the echoes," he played a recording, not a sound, of data translated into sound. A pattern, a signal, coming from far away, from another galaxy. It was a message in human language, but no human sent it. "Hello, we heard your noise. We thought we were alone. We are coming to say hello. Please be friends." The message repeated, and with it coordinates, a meeting place, halfway between galaxies. Captain Mira smiled, a real smile. "They heard us, and they're not afraid. They want to meet." The universe was not silent. It was full of voices, and humanity had just said hello. And somewhere in the dark something listened, and smiled, and waited, for the conversation had just begun.